All right, students, hopefully you have a pen and a piece of paper out ready to go. This is the lecture for Thursday, April 30th, and I'm ready for May to be here. Here is the title of the lecture. It's on the fiscal multipliers. There are three multipliers: the spending multiplier, the tax multiplier, which you rarely see a question on, and then, of course, the money multiplier, which we'll be talking about when we talk about monetary policy. Just a note about what we're doing this week. My intention is to give you Friday to put you in the chat rooms like we've been doing, and give you I'm going to probably put like 10 of you in there at a time and give you some questions on these last two lectures, and give you like 5 minutes to do them. They'll be simple, just like the ones we're doing today. Give you like 5 minutes to do them, then you send me a picture. And my goal is to set everybody up for an A. That's the plan. There is a slight chance I'll have to go out of town. I know I keep referring to that, but at some point I'm going to have to drive. I'm going to have to drive to North Florida for a day. I'm not sure what day it's going to be. If so, then we'll do it Monday. But anyway, that's the plan. Let's go with this. We're talking about the fiscal multipliers, and these have to do with a government policy, and obviously the money multiplier has to do with monetary policy. Moving on. Okay, make sure you have your audio on. I guess, if you're hearing me saying this, you have it on. Okay, so, all right, let's talk about the MPC and the MPS. So you're going to write all this down. There are two things you can do with the extra money you get. By the way, the extra money you get is marginal money, that big tax refund that we were just given by the government. That's extra money. It's marginal money. Of course, normal rules do not apply because of the crisis, but that's what the government's trying to get us to do. A lot of people are saving the whole thing. A lot of people who have enough money to pay their bills are scared to spend it because they don't know if they're going to keep their job or not, so they're holding on to it. But in a normal situation, the government thinks it knows how much people are going to spend and how much they're going to save. And so and here's your two choices, what you can do with it: save it or spend it. And remember, there's three parts of fiscal policy, or there's three components, whatever word you want to use. Remember, you're writing all this down, so when I check your notes, by the way, if we do the quiz tomorrow, your notes will be due tomorrow morning for yesterday's lectures and today. Government spending, the government can increase or decrease it. And remember, that's your go-to answer. And I can tell you, this is political, but it's also mostly true. Democrats generally favor government spending, and the Republicans generally favor not increasing. They generally favor tax decreases. And I can tell you, if you remember, that government spending has a greater effect than taxes, or this third one, here we go, government transfers. Because if you decrease someone's taxes or increase somebody's Social Security check, people don't spend all that. They save a chunk of it. All of government spending gets injected directly into the economy. And so, anyway, just remember, and I'm sure I've said this before many, many times, government spending has a greater effect than taxes or government transfers, a change in those. Okay, but those are the three things, and that's why I'm calling this lecture the fiscal multipliers. And there's what I just said: spending has a greater effect than the other two. Why? I told you that as well. Because people save some of it or wouldn't have spent all of it. That means if there's an inflationary gap and they want to raise taxes, that is also going to have less of effect than the decrease in government spending. All right. It works both ways is what I'm saying. Okay. All right. So let's continue. This MPS stands for marginal propensity to save. MPC is the marginal propensity to consume or spend. Together, they add up to one. So if they give you one, you know what the other is. Okay? And you're not going to have to take all these notes forever. So I am eventually going to tell you not to write this down. But at this point, I want you to write this in your notes because you are getting credit for this assignment. If the MPS is 0.2, the MPC has to be 0.8. That's all that means about them adding up to one. All right, moving on. All right, so here's the formula. I do want you to write this down. The spending multiplier is 1 over the MPS. That is your how much, if for every member, marginal members is for extra money. So the reason, you've got your regular budget figured out, and all of a sudden a pot of money is either dropped in your lap or taken away from you. And so this is extra. And the formula to figure out what the spending multiplier is 1 over the MPS. And I want you to write this down. If the you can skip the part in the middle, but if the MPC is 0.9, the multiplier is 10. If the MPC is 0.8, the multiplier is 5. Now, notice the smaller the MPS is, let's just make this intuitive. If you're saving a lot, it's not getting multiplied. The less you save, the greater the multiplier is. And so the size of the MPS has I hope I'm saying this right. I've only had 2 cups of coffee this morning. The size of the MPS has an inverse relationship with the size of the multiplier. And I hope that's intuitive. The more you save, the less you spend. The less you save, the more you're spending. And I hope I said that right. The size of the MPS has, the bigger the MPS, the smaller the multiplier. I think I did that right. Anyway, copy these down. All right, how to calculate it. Now, you don't need to write all this down, but make sure you're listening. There's a recession in the United States. Real GDP is 1,000 below potential. People save $20. That means the MPS is, if it's an extra $100, 20 out of $100 is 20%, which is 0.2. People save 0.2 of every extra $100 they get. How much does the government need to increase in spending to close the gap and end the recession? So I want you to pause this, pause the film, pause the video, and try this. Okay, here's the answer. All right, and I'm not going to read this to you. I'm going to try and get one video done today and make it, so all you have to do is have a 15-minute video today. There is the answer. Hopefully I did all that right. It made sense last night when I started this. Okay, let's do another one. Inflation, remember, inflationary gap. For spending, you want to, if you're in a recession, you want to pump more money into the economy. If there's an inflationary gap and you're trying to slow it down, you want to take money out of the economy. So I'm not going to read you the problem here, but what I want you to do is pause the film, pause the video, I got to remember to say that, and try it. Okay? And here is the answer. Okay? All right, I hope you understood that. Remember, anytime you don't understand it, Clifford's got a video for all this stuff. Okay, he's got that 50-minute review video, which I think I signed you earlier. Then he's got like a 30-minute one. The 30-minute one is way more detailed. And I hope you guys are focusing on your AP exams. And it's not just about my $50. I think there's probably a pretty good chance the teachers won't get their $50 next year. This is not, because of the budget crisis. But I don't know. And I'm not saying we not, but it doesn't matter. You, in every situation, you need to do what's best for you, and you need to pass this exam. Okay, all right, has nothing to do with me, but I'm here doing my job, and you need to do what you're supposed to do. But I hope you do well on all your exams. Okay, anyway, there's how the math works. All right, now let's talk about the tax multiplier. And if you remember, this used to be the hardest thing in the world, even harder than terms of trade for a lot of my students. But a couple of years ago, Clifford posted this video. I don't know why they never had this out there before, that all the tax multiplier is the spending multiplier minus 1. Okay, so and I want you to write that down. It's just the spending multiplier minus 1. For instance, if the spending multiplier is 5, the tax multiplier is 4. Now, by the way, I've never seen this applied to transfer payments, but it would work the same way, just in case they do that. Remember, if you give someone an extra $1,000 on their Social Security check, they aren't going to spend all of it. They're going to save some of it. That's the theory anyway. Anyway, here's your problem. Once again, you don't need to write it. I just want you to try it. So here's the problem. Pause the video. Think about what you've got here. You've got unlimited time. Pause the video and try to do the problem. Okay, and here is the answer. And I hope I did this right. Again, I'm half asleep this morning. It's rainy outside. Anyway, I did not put it in yellow. There should be the answer right there. All right, now Good. Video's coming in pretty short here. What have we got here? I'm going to give you 6 problems to do. I apologize. I have tons of old homework assignments, and this is the one from 2018. It's when I originally wrote this. I don't know if I gave this to you as classwork or as homework. So if you've done it before, fine, just do it again. I'm going to give you 6 problems. Here's what I want you to do. Again, you don't need to write it down when it says there, and you don't need to write the problems. But when you submit this assignment tomorrow, if that's the day we do it, I want you to show me your answers. Here's what I'd like for you to do. I'd like for you to try it. Normally, I post the correct answers. But what I'd like for you to do is try it and then text your buddies and see what they got. And if you didn't get it, I know you all text and know how to do videos and you got Instagrams and Snap Twitters and all sorts of stuff going on. There's all sorts of ways for you to communicate and FaceTime or whatever they call it. My daughter actually called me the other day. It's pretty funny. They bought an above ground pool. We make jokes about people with that, but anyway, she bought an above ground pool and she called me the other day and her and her buddy have got like a computer screen rigged up on a tree and they sit in their above ground pool and watch the video. That is redneck heaven. I'm telling you right there. That's like going to a drive-in movie in a pickup truck. Saw this family once. They backed their pickup truck. Some of you don't even know what a drive-in movie is. They turned their pickup truck backwards. They got in the back of the pickup truck, got in there. They had their ice chests with them with their food, and they got in their lawn chairs, and they sat out there with their dog and watched the movie. Absolutely wonderful. The only thing they needed was mosquito spray. Okay, so, but she did this FaceTime thing with me. Doggone it, I was going to get through this without telling these stories. So much for that. Anyway, I would like for you to contact your friends. I will be around my computer. I won't be around at about 2 o'clock in the morning. I guess you can email me if you want to know what the answers are. But, talk to your friends. It would be very helpful if you can't do this, if they explained it to you. All right, so here are the first 3 problems. And let me put myself out of the way here. And you can pause the video and do them at any point. And again, I apologize if you've done these before, but here are the 3 problems. And some of my older homework problems have mistakes in them because I had to write every bit of this myself. And because there's just not good stuff. There's not good macro stuff out there. Clifford's the best there is. Here's the first 3 problems. And then we'll go into the next slide. And here's the next 3 problems. And again, these notes are due tomorrow morning, unless you get some frantic email from me that I'm leaving town. But anyway, hopefully you're going to do it today, even though I'm getting the video out late. And at this point, this is the end of the video.